Hello, friends, travelers and non travelers, housed and unhoused. How are you doing today? I am doing better than I was when I first started renovating the van, which is good. So, today I want to talk about kind of my situation and like how this is relevant to anybody else as far as like what happens when you have to move into your vehicle. So, let's talk about a couple of different things that you need to know if you're getting evicted, you're getting kicked out, you are leaving a domestic violence situation similar to mine, or worse. Like, if it's worse, you need to get the hell out of there faster. But, so things you need to know. If you have a vehicle, great. If you don't, I'm sorry. Get a vehicle as soon as possible, even if it's like a junker. Okay, like I paid $1,000 for my 2003 Pontiac Vibe, which is my first vehicle. It can be done. That was pre-COVID, but I see vehicle prices dropping constantly, so try to get that. And then you need to really focus in on like what comfort items you need versus what's nice to have. So I would say something universal for everybody because it's got science that backs it is quality sleep. Get yourself a mattress that's comfortable, even if it's expensive and you would rather spend that money on other things. Because honestly, guys, I don't care if you're working full time. Like, if you're in a situation where you have to move into your vehicle, go to a food bank. Go ask somebody for help. These charities and stuff, like, there's no shame in it. Like, there's a reason they exist, and that's because people need help. You know, your situation might be unique. You know, just because you have a vehicle doesn't mean that you're any less deserving than somebody who lives on the street. Especially in these big cities, they have enough resources to go around. And if they don't have that sort of stuff in your area, go to an Aldi. Go through the dumpster. They throw away some really good stuff. Just make sure you leave it cleaner than you found it and you're not violating any trespassing laws, of course. So that kind of takes care of the food situation. So bedding, food, and if you are in a situation where you can pay for your own food, like, start cheap, because this is kind of an intense sort of situation that you have found yourself in. So the next things you really want to worry about is a way to charge your phone. Most people have a cell phone these days, like even elderly people. So get yourself one of those little miniature phone charger battery banks, and then you can always go in somewhere and charge it if that's all the money you have. They also make like these are like really tiny folding solar panels that you can use to charge those up. That generally will be adequate to charge a cell phone. But if you have the budget or if you have the resources to get more power, go ahead. Like, for example, I'm gonna have 600 watts of solar, and I have a what I bought when it first came out was the Blue Yeti AC 200p. It has been working fine. I think one of the USB ports is shot because I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to taking care of electronics. I'm trying my best. But anyway, so get what you can afford. If you can't afford some stuff and you're like a disabled person, or you don't want to put a lot of effort into it, or you're just so much under stress that like you need a break, what you can do if you have the money, go buy a 100-watt solid solar panel, get yourself some VHB tape and some brackets and slap that on your roof, and then run a cable inside and hook it up to any one of these like cheaper power stations. You got like the Jackery 240, and you got the like the smaller Blue Yetis and stuff like that. There's also some off brands that are a little cheaper. I'm just gonna, don't mind me, I have back problems, so I have to constantly like adjust how I'm sitting. And I also like threw out my back as I'm doing these renovations, so I apologize. So yeah, like once you take care of that power need, you're good. Like, whatever you could afford is whatever you could afford. Start small. Start with what you can afford, and then later on you can always upgrade. Second is cooking in the van. You don't necessarily need to cook. Like, if you're really, 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 really broke, just go use a truck stop or gas station microwave, guys. It's not that hard. I mean, I have my own microwave because I have all this solar and I can run it, but not everybody can. And I'm incredibly grateful for all the things that I have and was able to afford to put into this van. I am incredibly lucky that I basically got the van for free. I'm incredibly lucky that I have 600 watts of solar. I'm incredibly lucky to have the Blue Eddy. I even have a fridge freezer. It's Alpi Cool. Like, these are things that, like, not everybody can have right away. And I'm incredibly grateful that I have them. You can live without them. When I was homeless on the street, I didn't have any of that stuff. Actually, I didn't even have a cell phone because it got stolen, guys. Like, stuff is possible. It's going to be hard at first, especially if this is going to be your first time, and this is something you have to do. It's going to be hard. So the next thing you want to do is change your relationship with money. So a lot of us think about money as this physical thing, because it is. But if you start to change in your mind your relationship with money, start seeing money as really just hours worked tokens. Be like $10, that's 1 hour of work. I really hope you guys are making more than $10 an hour. I know some of you aren't. That sucks, but we're just going to use this as an example because 10's a nice round number. Where was I going with that? I am neurodivergent as heck. I got a little bit of the ADHD, so you gotta give me a minute. Changing your relationship with money, right? So once you can do that, you start to be able to start seeing, what is a want versus what is a need. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get the things that you want. You should, but first you gotta make sure that your needs are taken care of. So, like I said, a bed is a need. Power for your phone is a need. Phone service is a need. Water is a need. So get yourself a water container. They sell them at Walmart. The best price per amount of water I've seen is the 7-gallon Reliance containers, which is great if you have like a larger vehicle. If you're in something like a car, they have these smaller, skinnier containers that are pretty reasonably priced. I think it's like Igloo or Ozark Trail that makes them. Get one of those. You'll be good. Refilling water is pretty easy. Like Walmart and other grocery stores have refill stations. You go on iOverlander. You got a cell phone. You got cell phone service. Download iOverlander. That's the next thing. It'll tell you where to fill up your water. It'll tell you where you can park. It'll tell you where the campsites are. All sorts of good stuff on there that you can use, especially if you're just starting out and you don't know how to find a place to sleep necessarily. Like, that's going to be a really good thing to do. I will say, generally, truck stops, Crackle Barrel, those types of places will generally not be bothered and usually say okay to you sleeping overnight, but like stuff like Walmarts and stuff like that is always kind of iffy. It depends on what state you're in. It depends on, even what town you're in, who's the manager, and whether or not they have signs up. It's like, and stuff changes all the time. Like here in Myrtle Beach, we have a Walmart on 544. They've kind of gone back and forth as to whether or not they allow overnight camping and whether or not they want RVs and vans and stuff there. My only tip with camping anywhere in the city is clean up after yourself. Leave things cleaner than you found it, and you will have a good relationship with the people there. Don't cause trouble, don't cause loud noise. If you have pets, if you can't afford poop bags, well, whatever, go into Walmart, grab some of the bags at checkout. I swear to you, go into Walmart with no money and go to the self-checkout, and grab yourself some plastic bags. 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to say anything to you. I promise. In the times that they do, um, just say something like, "Yeah, my dog pooped all over the concrete, and I want to pick it up so that I'm being a responsible pet owner." And usually they'll just back off because you have a right to clean up after your pet. And I'm not saying steal, but the plastic bags are free. It's like when you go into Taco Bell, right? You go into Taco Bell and you take a big handful of mild sauce. No one cares. You can go get your mild sauce, and that's another thing I want to point out is go get your free sauces from Taco Bell. If you're in a pinch and all you have is like some rice, put some Taco Bell sauce on it. You'll be good. So we covered camping and kind of water all in the same one. Another thing that might be considered a need, especially if you're in the South, get yourself a fan. I have a couple different ones. The one that I like the most is from my Ryobi Tools kit thing. It's a Ryobi shop fan. It runs off of the tool batteries. It may or may not be too large for your vehicle. They sell all sorts of battery powered and USB powered fans. Get yourself a fan that'll make your life comfortable. That sort of thing. Now, do you need refrigeration? Not really. If you're really poor, you have no money, go get yourself a cooler and stock it with ice. Get the best cooler you can buy. A lot of times Walmart will have sales. There's a store that I really like for van life and just being frugal in general. That's called Ross. If you have one, check it regularly because you can find some pretty cool stuff in there for really cheap. If you need bedding, they got it. You need new pillows, they got it. You need cooking utensils, they probably have it. You need plastic storage, they probably have it. The only thing they probably don't have is like lumber and stuff like that. There's another really good store for people who want to save money. If you have one in your area, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, that's another good place to pick up your stuff for living in a vehicle. I've even found like sleeping bags and stuff at Ollie's before, as well as like other camping supplies, so that might be a good option if you have one in your area. Otherwise, Goodwill. Try Goodwill. You don't need stuff brand new, except underwear. That's the other point. When it comes to being frugal, there's a few things that you should probably not buy used and that I would highly recommend you buy brand new. That's underwear, sheets, and anything you're going to keep your food in. Yeah, like you can get like a used cooler from Goodwill and wash it out with alcohol if you want. I wouldn't. I don't know. It's like I'm not really that much of a germaphobe because like I'll go roll in mud for fun, but I don't know, just the bacteria and stuff, like especially like we have these diseases coming out now that are like resistant to stuff that kills disease. I wouldn't do that. Also, mattresses, unless that's your only option, please either take one from inside your house or go buy one from Walmart if you have to. If you have to start out with stacking memory foams, those cheap memory foams they have at Walmart, that's all you can afford. At least there's not going to be any like bed bugs or anything in it. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you guys. It's awful to try to get rid of bed bugs, especially if you're in a vehicle. So just beware. If you're buying clothes from a thrift shop and you're already in your vehicle, get a trash bag out. As soon as you've done your thrift store shopping for clothes, put the clothes into the trash bag, tie it up tight, twist it around, and then take it straight to the laundromat or wherever you're doing your washing and wash them with hot water. That will save you a lot of pain in the future, I promise. Something else you really need is stuff to get clean. So that could be as simple as like baby wipes, a spray bottle with water and vinegar, and a washcloth. You can afford soap. Cool. I mean, you can generally find these amazing, like good for the environment, natural friendly herbal soaps at Ross, so I highly recommend going over to the men's section and looking over at their toiletries because they have these amazing smelling soaps. And I've seen them everywhere. Myrtle Beach, like San Antonio, Texas, I've seen it in California. Like, all these Rosses have good soap for really cheap. You can get like a herbal bar of soap for like $4, sometimes cheaper. It's really good. But if you can't afford soap, I mean, vinegar will kill bacteria, especially apple cider vinegar. It's going to kill the bacteria. It's going to keep you clean. Yes, you're probably going to smell like a Caesar salad, but you know what? Smelling like a Caesar salad is better than smelling like BO. And if you can't afford deodorant, rub a lemon. Like, cut a lemon in half, rub it on your armpits. Otherwise, plenty of options for cheap deodorant, especially like at Walmart now. Like the organic, no aluminum, no parabens deodorant prices have kind of, they're not that much more expensive than like regular deodorants. It just depends on like what you like. I will say, if you generally have a strong odor and you notice that you have a stronger odor after you've been wearing deodorant all day, it's probably a sign you should switch to no aluminum. It does something with the smell. It makes it smell really bad. And being in a vehicle, you want to smell as clean as possible for as long as possible so that you can conserve your water and your resources. Ladies, you're probably not going to have your hair dryer unless you can manage the solar. It sucks, but you know what? If you're using a truck stop shower, they have hair dryers in there. So that just, are you willing to pay $15 for a shower? You can get stuff like Planet Fitness or Anytime Fitness. With Planet Fitness, I don't use them anymore because every time I've ever tried to cancel, they don't cancel. And they just keep charging my card, and then I have to change banks, and it's really annoying. Just tips. Just tips. Something else I would highly recommend, and I'm actually going to go grab it. You're going to see me cringing because my back hurts. Oh, God. Ooh. It is actually that painful to move these days. Anyway, so this thing. I'm going to open it up to show you, because I know you guys are like, what the hell? So let me just open this. I'll show you. So, see some wires here, you see some clamps. So here is the star of the show here. This is the NextPow 1500, and then you plug this cable in it, and then you put this onto your car or van or RV battery. And it's like a jumper cable that doesn't require another vehicle. So if you can afford it, they've kind of come down in price that I've noticed from when I first bought this. And they last forever. And also, this can double as a place to charge your phone. Yeah, like it has a little USB thingy on it, and you can charge your phone off of it. It's also got a little flashlight and everything. And that's also another, like, really important thing, is some form of light. But most of you guys have a cell phone that has a flashlight on it, so if you do, cool. So, that's how you get started anyway. I feel like I've talked enough for one video, so if you have any questions or you want me to do another video on, like, what you should do after you get all that stuff, like how to set yourself up for success, just go ahead, like, subscribe, press the bell icon, and leave a comment below what you would like for me to talk about. Alright, so until next time, friends, see you later.